Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
That's all we're legally allowed to play. Welcome to episode 133 of Nation Real Life. Jay, you specifically requested Cotton Eye Joe. Why did you specifically request Cotton Eye Joe?
Because I catch a lot of heat on the social medias for being an advocate for Cotton Eye Joe being the goal song, the new goal song for the Oilers. A remix version. Even, you know what? Actually, it's been so long since I heard it. It actually sounded not too bad. Bag Milk, thoughts?
The original has a certain charm to it, you know? It's like going to McDonald's when you're wasted.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
As much as I hate it, it does have one of those tunes that makes you want to get up.
Yeah.
Stomp your foot.
I hated
Why
that.
not embrace it? Like we played the song to death in like the late 90s, early O's. But I think there's some nostalgia there. To like, it should be a song we celebrate.
We call them toe tappers for a reason.
It is a toe tapper.
Because you don't have to think about the tapping of the toe.
I think of like a cool, if you put a little twist on it. Like I'm thinking the Oilers score, the horn goes, and then you just get, well, bear with this, but
Have you got
I
hope?
the wrong one. That's a jab.
Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
If it hadn't been for
Just
Cotton Eye
this?
Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
And stop.
And then like a good beat. Like,
Yeah, this
I think that
instantly
would get
gets
people
me
going.
moving. I was
Hardcore rap
dancing.
beat.
We got to start fucking videoing this podcast soon enough. But I immediately when that comes on, I'm moving my body.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
I think at first I didn't like it, but when I hear just like the cold open of the song, it's like, man, I think that has some potential.
Why was it so polarizing to be the one song everybody would like narrow in on when they talked about how bad our in-game entertainment was?
I think it was because sometimes they played it so many times.
Yeah, they
It's
played,
that one that's so popular. and
it was still
it's
kind of
the
like
face of it?
yeah, it's still and it was a one-hit wonder that kind of they were just kind of dragging along. It was as if like when Eiffel 65 I'm Blue kept
great
playing
jam.
it for like 6 years in a row after it kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Do you remember the video for that song?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Do you remember
Yeah.
how
The weird
bad
little
it was made?
creepy alien guys.
Yeah, and those three guys are
Yeah.
just like they're dance punching aliens
Oh, yeah.
away.
Mhm.
Go watch
Fantastic.
it if you haven't seen it in a while. It is really bad.
It was kind of like Reboot, if you remember that show.
Oh yeah, I like.
Oh, I
Reboot
do
for a
remember
bit.
that show.
Yeah.
So no Wanye this week.
No Wanye. Chalmers is here. Jay's here. Bag Milk. I'm Tally Remchuk. I'm always here because I have the equipment. So
Yeah.
they
That's right.
need- you guys need me
And
to
hang
push
on
the
a second. I
buttons.
see new equipment. There's buttons. I want to push all of them.
Yeah,
Bagman's been on vacation.
I did.
that's
They
right.
moved me a chair over, so I couldn't push him anymore.
This is like a hell of a little machine here. We got the Roadcaster Pro. Roadcaster isn't paying us to say that, unfortunately, but it's a cool little thing here. You can have two people on the phone at any given time and someone on Skype if you want to.
Oh, wow.
So we could do like a massive roundtable. We could cold call Wanye right now and just ask him what he's up to.
We should do one podcast where everyone has to phone in. Like we all phone in. Like no one's in the studio.
It would
It's just-
sound awful.
And it
but-
would be
just
hard.
in the
I
cloud.
need to look at your
podcast.
faces.
yeah,
It does help.
it would be
Yeah.
very difficult.
It would be funny to listen to.
Do we know what Wanye is doing right now?
He is on some kind of vacation.
Had a boy.
Yeah,
Good
he.
for him.
He.
Speaking from a man who takes a few, he could use one.
Yeah, he just told me on Thursday that he's gonna take the week off because he's got some cool plans. So him and I think I can say his girlfriend are.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
it's getting serious.
Are on some kind of lovers getaway.
Ah, man, I love those buttons. I wish there was more of them.
I know. Well, okay, maybe we should open that up. Like, what kind of good sound clips could we have, like, ready to go for our little hot buttons here?
See, Jay, I'm just thinking of like Fred. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Fred from the Howard Stern show. He must
need
have
the
so many
Jamaican
buttons.
He
air
must
But
have like 1,000 buttons.
absolutely.
When somebody has a hot take, the Jamaican air horn, you know, it's like pew 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 pew.
Yeah, we should get that.
I love that
actually.
one.
That's
And
a
we
good
should
one.
also get some that are sound bites from each other.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
of course.
Where we incriminate ourselves or sound really stupid.
Yeah, out of
and then you can
context.
play- exactly.
Good luck finding one where I sound stupid, eh, boys?
I'm assuming when you talked about horse racing or horse riding with Brendan Davidson, there's some pulls there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Let me tell you about horse racing.
we connected on a level, and it was
That's
horse
true.
racing.
That's true. How about talking about connecting your cousin?
Oh yeah,
Whiskey
so get,
woman?
So get this. So yeah, okay. So
That's your cousin?
one of the so not really, but we're like family now. So there's a girl on Instagram who immediately followed us and followed me and is into the show and is
Loyal, like our most loyal
like one of the
listener.
most loyal
them, yeah.
fans. Comments on everything, like super engaged. We love her. And There was a part when when I first saw her, and I was like, man, she looks like super familiar. She has a familiar face. And all of a sudden, we were talking last week on the podcast about the Yaremchuk family tree from St. Albert, right?
Yeah.
And she posted a comment with the heading of the podcast that said, talking about who's related to Yaremchuk, my Twitter handle is @Smigorowski, even though my real name is Chris Chalmers. That's my mother's maiden name. She asked, is @Smigorowski by any chance related to Wade Smigorowski? Now, the answer is 100% I am. He is my mom's brother's son. He is my first cousin.
Okay.
And he is a wicked dude. Well, she is also Wade's cousin, just on the other side. Wade's mom, so my auntie married an aunt, is her brother's whiskey
Your
woman's
auntie
father.
married an aunt?
No, I married an aunt. So
2019, man.
my uncle Richard,
Yeah.
who's my mom's brother,
Dick?
yeah, married my auntie Dee Dee.
Yeah.
She'd
Dick
be a
and Dee Dee.
married an aunt.
Dick and Dee Dee.
Dick and Dee Dee.
Nice.
Dick and Dee Dee from Givens. They're the best. And Wade's like the best. And so
Oh, yeah. I've had the pleasure of meeting
Oh,
Wade. He is
the best.
Good
Here's
time.
the thing about Wade. I built Wade a house probably about 10 years ago, and built myself one 8 doors down. And so the night before my wedding, all my friends came to my house, and we drank because that's what we do before weddings. And he rolled up at like 10 at night, and on his big truck, he had a alcohol car, one of those cars that goes through mud, like a really deep mud pit, and you have to try to get through it. And this car was a purple car called None the Wiser, N-U-N the Wiser, W-I-S-E-R, like rye, right? Because our family drinks rye.
Yeah.
Well, he pulled up, and we started drinking and just laying on the gas on that thing. And then he ended up partying with us. And Spencer, his buddy Spence, remember his buddy?
Oh,
his buddy Spence showed up and was probably 20 out of 10 drunk.
Yeah, he was
Anyways,
on another
long
planet.
story short, me and Whiskey Woman are like family now. What a small world.
She's also like family to me because she was my contact for my homie Frank's packages from Cowtown, Edmonton.
Get out of here.
They're fantastic.
She's like a part of the Nation family.
Absolutely.
Nation Real Life is a family. Everyone who listens, all 12 of you, and the 3, 4, 5, 6 of us that can be in this room, we're all related.
Yeah, it was her birthday this last weekend, which I saw from Instagram too. So happy birthday
Happy
to her.
birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a very happy birthday.
Yeah. So there, yeah. So small world. It was cool to see that. That's the type of interaction I like. You know, the ones where there's like something that's fun that comes out of it, not the ones where people tell me that I suck.
Well, I've been paying extra close attention to the social because
Yeah.
Wanye called us out for not engaging
Yes.
enough.
Yeah.
So now, and thank you, and we'll get to talking about the fantasy pool that's
Yeah.
been started.
That thing blew up.
There's been a lot of good engagement there. Anyways, to the task at hand, Yaremchuk, what the hell do we have to talk about?
Well, the topic du jour, if we want to talk Oilers, for 8 weeks running now is what's going to happen with Jesse Puljujarvi. That's the big one. And, of course, he found his way back into the headlines again, telling a Finnish newspaper that he's going to stay wherever he is in Finland until he's traded. And if he needs to stay there into the season, he will, type of thing. Jay, you're sick of it? I'm sick of it.
You know, it was so nice. I spent the last 2 weeks basically at the lake, and I
Yeah.
didn't know any of this shit.
That's so good.
It was so nice. And I check out the Nation, and there was more Puljujarvi drama where he said he's going to stay in Finland.
And he's saying it too.
Yeah.
Like, he has officially burned all of the good equity he had with me. It's all gone.
Like
I am now the anti-Puljujarvi fan.
we
There
put
is no pool party.
There's
at my house.
100% of this that pisses me off. But I want to know how much of it do we think is created by his agent and how much is actually him being this way? Is it an 80-20 split?
I think
80
it's
like, or do you think it's a lot driven by him? Is it 50-50? I just don't see how a young kid who hasn't really done anything can kind of take this hardcore stance.
If it's the agent saying it and only saying what has been said, then yeah, I would say it's more towards the agent. But now that he is, because he's in Finland, he's more comfortable there to kind of come out and say things. But the fact that he's the one now saying like, no, like I'm going to stay here until I get a contract. But it's just like the fucking entitlement that he has to make a statement like that after, you know, yes, we've developed him, but also like he hasn't really risen to the occasion yet either. Really, really sours me.
So what are like the timeline facts of this whole drawn out process? Like just to kind of remind people, I know it might take a second for you to remember it, but like just to remind
Yeah.
people what's gotten us to this point, because I don't really know.
they draft him 4th overall.
They bring him over to the NHL and to North America. They don't let him stay in Europe for another year. They try to force him into the NHL roster to start the year. Doesn't work. Goes down to Bakersfield, is whatever there. Comes back the next year. They try to force him into the NHL lineup again. Doesn't work. Send him down to Bakersfield. There's always kind of rumors going around, too, that, like, you know, Peter Chiarelli might have promised him, like, ice time, and the organization might have promised him things and then not kept those promises by sending him down to Bakersfield. And then again, the third year, this past year, start him in the NHL, force him into the NHL, clearly isn't ready, send him down to Bakersfield, bring him right back up from Bakersfield when Ken Hitchcock gets here, and then he's hurt. And then the offseason comes, and he wants out, even though everyone kind of knew that there was likely going to be a trade coming. And then the agent doubles and triples and quadruples down on like every
bad gambler,
any sort of media platform he can get onto pretty much. He was going out there and making the headlines. And Jesse doubles and triples down as well. What I think, like, I do agree, maybe a sense of entitlement. I think it's a lot of frustration with Jesse. But I feel like what might have happened is he went to his agent and said, or him and his agent had a conversation, and Jesse said, yeah, you know what? I don't want to play in Edmonton anymore. And they just took the wrong course of action to get that done. And Jesse got some bad advice. Like, I'm sure he wants to be in the NHL next year. He's giving up like probably what, $700,000-$800,000 US by going to play over in Finland and not in North America at the NHL level, which he would be guaranteed to do if he signed his qualifying offer. Like, he can't be sent to Bakersfield without clearing waivers next year.
He's shooting himself. He's devaluing himself because he's providing a bad look for himself, which is going to throw GMs off the scent. Like, these are things where, you know, maybe I'm old school, where you allow these things to develop as a chip on your shoulder to then fuel you to prove everyone wrong. Like, take the fucking 1-year deal in Edmonton, show us that we're idiots, and then have someone trade for you.
If he had 2 20-goal seasons under his belt and he goes and requests a trade, the Oilers would be able to get it done in the snap of their fingers, right? Because there would be value and guys would really, really covet that. Yep. It's not happening right now because he doesn't prove himself and teams know he's going to be a head case. And the one argument, I've said this before, I'll say it again, the idea that he could go to Europe and boost his value is insane to me.
Oh, it's
like,
stupid.
he didn't really pass the sight test when he was here either. Like, you didn't really see flashes of anything.
One game.
There was the odd game, and then you'd get like the preseason this last year. Remember, he looked like unreal in the preseason. Then the regular season comes, he falls apart again. Yeah. But the idea that he's going to go to Europe and gain all this value, to me, I don't believe that. To me, it's he'll go to Europe and he'll be good in Europe, and then when they go to trade him, teams will go, well, he still needs to prove he can do it in North America at the NHL level. So I just think it's a shit show.
Yeah, look, we signed Nygaard, who was the leading scorer in the SHL.
Yeah,
right.
And there were only
we signed him for what, $1 million?
Exactly. So if Yessa goes and leads one of those leagues in scoring, well, those guys, you can always find those guys on the free agent market. The guys who go and light it up in Europe. No one's giving up picks or good prospects for them.
Yeah.
So the bright spot here right now is that have we learned our lesson? Because I saw a ticker on TSN saying that Oilers are letting Broberg play next year in Sweden.
I think it's Ken Holland knows what he's doing when it comes to these kids.
So that's there is a positive thing to look for, is that we are not making the same mistake that we made with Puljujarvi with Broberg. Correct?
I kind of wish Broberg was playing junior here just so he can get used to the North American style of game, like in the ice and stuff.
But did we say that about Puljujarvi at the time? If he would have gone back to Europe, would you have said, "Oh, I wish he would just come and play here and just same thing"?
Probably, but we're fans, and fans, I think, will always be that little bit anxious to see the high-end prospects get here quickly.
Yeah,
I think it's on the organization to have a better view.
Here's my take. This tall, lanky, entitled Finn is putting himself ahead of Connor McDavid. He thinks he's holding out from a team that has Connor McDavid. How fucking dumb is that? That to me is telling me he is putting himself ahead of Connor McDavid. Who in their right mind who plays professional hockey would ever do that?
That's an interesting take. Like, there are not a lot of hockey players out there who would point blank give up an opportunity to play with Connor McDavid. But part of this, again, just maybe goes back to the fact that it's not like an Edmonton or even an Oilers management thing. It might be an in-the-room thing.
Yeah, I think wholeheartedly that's what it is. And now that like that's kind of coming out now, because the longer this festers, the more like we're gonna hear more and more and more about it. So I fucking loved you, Pool Party, but I am done.
I'm looking at today. Dusty did Inside the Nation, as he always does, and he's been playing with the lineups all season.
He loves line combos.
Loves line combos. So I'm looking at his right side. Jesse is not playing ahead of the real deal James Neal.
No. Why would he?
The other three, though, Alex Chiasson, Josh Archibald, Zach Cassian, you're telling me that if he comes in and busts his ass, he wouldn't have a chance to play ahead of one of those three dudes on the right side.
And if Neal's playing with Nuge, then like there's a spot on Connor McDavid's wing open.
Yeah.
Or even if Neal's playing with Connor and he ends up with Nuge. Well,
Nuge, Kara, and JP were a good line for about 3 weeks last year. And
Yes,
then
they were.
Jujar got hurt.
Yep.
and then they never got put back together again.
Yeah, which was also just like insane to think that they never decided to reunite those three after they were good. But still,
To me, he's
Jesse had that
acting.
stretch.
Yeah.
To me, he's acting like a little piss baby.
I know.
It's like it was like he was the best player on his team every single year of his life, and now that he's not getting that kind of cherry minutes, power play time despite not earning it, all that kind of stuff. Now he's getting mad about it, and he's not getting his way, so he's taking his ball and going home.
Yep.
And I like the way that old Dutch Uncle Ken is playing this because he's kind of like, all right, man, enjoy Finland.
Make your bed. Yeah.
Enjoy Finland.
If the rumors of that Lemieux trade with the Rangers is available, take that in a heartbeat.
What's Old Dutch? Old Dutch Uncle Ken. What does that come from?
Somebody came up with the nickname of Old Dutch for Ken Holland, and I love
Holland.
No, I get it. I'm wondering if that's a thing, or you just made it up right now. I was kind of helping you get a thing going.
I'm trying to make it a thing.
wasn't. Okay.
I don't know who it was. I wish I could give credit to whichever Twitter genius came up with that, but I love it. It's hilarious.
You want to talk about making a thing is we put a mustache on the Nation truck like
That's going
3 months ago, and like to play for like a 2-week window of kind of fun, and then obviously it fell off because the season it's dead, and you know it's the off season, so there's not a lot of momentum. But then, sure as shit, Coach Tip shows up, takes a photo in front of the truck with the Tip stash. I think he's gonna grow it.
Was that at the Mark Spector Golf Classic you guys won?
That was yes, that is at the Mark Spector Golf
the
Classic.
ringer
that we won.
team you put in. Does everybody know what you did?
What do you mean? What we did?
Well, what do you mean? What do I mean?
We shot 19 under.
Yeah, because
Like-
you had three guys with about 3 handicaps, and then yourself.
No. We had one guy with a 3 handicap. Well, I guess so. Drew from Sherwood Ford is a former pro. Like,
Yeah.
he was an
he
assistant.
worked at our golf course as a pro,
He was
a
an
teaching
assistant.
pro.
He was an assistant pro. But
Yeah.
but he's out of the. I think he said it was his third
You
round.
don't lose that shit.
Oh no, he's still a good
Okay.
player. But
Okay.
like, so
Then-
what? You don't.
then you had-
What do you do when you
Then
put
you
a
had
tournament?
I definitely
You
stacked
put
the
it in
team.
your buddies. So
You've
we
just found-
invite Sherwood Ford because they're a great sponsor of ours.
Pissed I wasn't
Of
invited.
course.
And it just worked out that Drew's a great golfer. And then we brought, Mandy's other good golfer.
Yeah.
I'm good for every 4th shot. And, we had Curtis from Sherwood Ford, and then we had Vintage Carey as our 5th.
Yeah, I saw that.
You had 5 people in your group?
We had 5 people. So a lot of the groups had celebrities, so they got a 5th golfer. So because Vintage Carey is a celebrity for many, many reasons.
To the nation, he is.
Well, this guy
Behind the
is
scenes.
he's the biggest celebrity that isn't a celebrity in terms of like public awareness, I guess.
You should have more public awareness.
19
Mark.
It's
under
because he
is
doesn't
just
want it. He keeps it that way.
ridiculous.
He's 19 under, and we birdied a par 4. We birdied every par 3. That was
That's
what.
huge.
Ooh, yeah, that's game. That's
We-
That's
bird-
that's what 3 handicaps do for you.
Yeah, and so
And it was their shots too, right? Tell me it wasn't.
I'll tell you one thing.
Exactly.
We had one par 3 where I think we had a putt inside 10 feet. The rest we just drained like 20-foot bombs.
How's everybody else at that tournament? I'd have been so mad.
Oh, we got heckled because
I'm sure you did.
Because there was Nation team won it like 3-4 years ago.
Where'd you take the cup?
We took it to the
pint.
Canadian Brew House
Oh, Kenny Brewhouse.
and filled it up with delicious Bud Light.
It looks disgusting. It doesn't
Crushed
look like you
it.
cleaned it.
Spector showed up. He was crushing it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, great time. But the big winner was the Nation truck because Dave Tippett took a photo in front of it. It was
Yeah, I
unbelievable.
thought that was super cool.
Oh my God, we were golfing and Drew from Sherwood Ford just pulls. He's like, "Oh my God, they got a photo with Tippett in front of the truck." I was like, "Holy shit!"
Do we know what he thought of it?
yeah. Did he say anything?
So Dave Tippett, and this is why I think the Oilers are in great hands. This guy is unbelievable.
Did you get his number?
His phone number?
Yeah, we could have brought him on the pod.
Well, so Dan had the interaction with him, not me. But every hole he goes to, he goes and introduces himself to everyone working the hole. He just like it's just to get and he's a phenomenal golfer too. But that's beside the fact. Yeah, just like work the room. Everyone like he was just going up and talking to everyone. But like it was like What I was when I saw him in action, I'm just like this guy knows. He definitely knows how to communicate. Definitely, he's going to be able to work with like this generation of hockey player.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the guy who's going to be the James Neal whisperer, and like he's going to get 30 goals this year.
This guy could have
You
fixed
said
Jesse
20 last time.
Puljujarvi.
It's
This
thir-
guy could have.
I was going to say this
That's
is going
the
to
whole thing.
that makes it even more annoying
It's
that
30
Jesse's
now. You said 20 last pod. It's 30 now.
Well, no,
Let's make it 40.
I'm guaranteeing
This is
20.
the best-
But,
here's the best,
Tippett
Jay.
could whisper him to get to 30.
So we got Tippett. We got new management. We've got some exciting things to look forward
Yeah,
to.
we got playoffs, baby.
Season's creeping up, and Jay's excitement level just continues
it's
to
the
get
fucking
bigger.
off season.
Yeah, man. It's prime Kool-Aid season right now.
But I'm seeing good things. I'm not making shit up. I'm seeing good things.
What do we have to look forward to in the coming months?
Playoffs.
Yeah, but besides that, like what happens from now? Like
Nothing.
if I okay, good.
What do
So
you mean?
nothing. Well, I was gonna say if I'm sitting here right now and I'm pumped about fantasy football and I'm pumped about football season coming, and you guys need to talk me into why I should be excited for hockey coming.
You shouldn't.
Tell me the next thing
What?
to look
Why?
forward to coming.
Shouldn't be excited at all until September. Enjoy your summer, hockey fans.
It's true. I agree. You know what? Don't tell me that. If somebody comes to tell me that, I'm going to tell them why I don't want to be excited right now.
I'll tell you when I get
The
really
summer's
excited.
already
When
flying
I'm
by. I don't-
driving downtown and I get my first Oilers sighting of the year, because then that means the boys are back in town and shit is actually becoming like the season is near.
I get excited when I see players on the ice first day of training camp. And that's when I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's start talking line combos. Let's start dissecting some things. But for me, like in the middle of August, when like the weather's nice and there's so much to do in Edmonton, it's hard for me to be like, let's buckle up and
yeah, you're right. Folk Fest just around the corner.
well,
I'm not
Folk-
taking
I'm
Oilers.
excited for Folk Fest. I'll tell you one thing though.
Weather's gonna be shit.
At the Mark Spector Golf Classic, which we won with a -19
We
on their
heard.
score. Tyler Benson was there. He's looking good.
Edmonton kid, right?
looking good.
He's looking top 6 good.
Ooh.
Just based off his golf game.
Just looking just how he carries himself. He looks
All right.
like a good guy. He's in hella good shape.
Was it a negative or a positive? Did he drink? Would that have been
No,
a big-
he was
have a couple
crushing.
beers?
Hey, this is a kid who gets it. Public appearance, always had a water bottle in his hand, gets it.
Smart.
Smart guy. All right, we need to step aside here from the fine folks at Japa.
Have you got holes to dig, earth to pack, and roads to build? Then you need to call Japa Machinery Group. Does your equipment need a service? You can't fix stupid, but here at Japa Machinery Group, we can fix everything else. With a full range of parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Japa Machinery Group is a family-operated and Alberta-grown business. Here to help build a bigger and better Western Canada. Give us a call or visit us at japamachinery.com. Japa Machinery Group. Join the family.
So was last
It's a
night.
fun podcast, Chalmers. Everyone gets it.
But hey, I'm just making sure. He's been gone for a while. He's been
I
gone
have.
so long.
It was nice. I was basically drunk for 2 weeks. It was nice.
That's nice. Where?
My sister has a cabin out near Alberta Beach.
Oh, nice.
So we're just sitting there around the fire, drink, hot dogs aplenty.
A lot of crib.
A little bit of crib.
What were the game of choice?
Love a good game.
There was a little bit of crib. There was a little bit of barush. I don't
What's this?
really understand how to play it.
Legal.
I don't really understand how to play it. There's a lot of math involved. I'm really bad at it. There was just ladder ball,
Ladder golf.
oh,
Yeah.
that's
Or
a good
ladder.
one,
ladder
Love it.
Ladder toss.
little bocce.
I got to introduce
Hitting all the
Finska.
notes here,
Got to
yeah?
introduce Finska to you.
Yeah.
I got to bring it here. We got to play it one day.
What was that game, Tyler? You went and you were in a tournament where you were
Bannock.
like, throwing bones or something.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, you guys want to get back to it here?
Wasn't that back to it?
Oh, I thought we were in it.
Oh, we were in it.
Oh, are we living in it?
I'm always in it.
I didn't bring us
I
back.
was just gonna say that.
Well, it was kind of like a rolling. What is it called? Whatever. We rolled into this one.
We rolled into the segment. All right. Well, okay, sure. We rolled into the segment.
I got to shout out
editor's
Japa.
dream.
I
Yeah,
gotta
shout out Japa.
They Sean Green, big deal at Japa, took me to Jackfish Lake this weekend.
Oh, it's a great lake.
He was the captain of our boat. Obviously, we had some engine issues because it wasn't his boat, and he fixed the motor. This is what
Oh,
Japa does.
Jesus.
Very quickly.
Key
And
guy.
then me and him and his family and some friends, we just had a great day on the lake. Caught a ton of walleye. Just a great day.
Eat some?
Well, we didn't have any tags to pull them out.
Oh. touche.
Oh, Greener Sean caught a fucking lunker, like a 5-pound walleye. It was huge. It was the biggest walleye I've seen in a long time.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, very big. There's a photo of it. I got to find it. Maybe we'll post it. But shout out to Japa.
All right, big shout out to Japa. Another thing we wanted to get to was fantasy football. Chalmers, do you have an update on our Nation Real Life League?
Yeah, so last week we talked about maybe forming a Nation Real Life Fantasy Football League. And because I'm not great at following through on some of this stuff, one of our listeners, a guy named, I just was supposed to find this.
I love how this kind of took
Wall
off.
Jordan. Yeah, so at Wall Jordan, he decides to send me the Made League.
Yeah, I saw this.
So he sends me the Made League and he says, here's the league, boys, let's do this. And I basically had to say, good job, but I'm going to be the commissioner of this thing. So when I get he goes, I'll transfer you to commissioners once you join. So I do it. Within a couple days, I had about 7 or 8 direct messages of people that wanted to be in. So it spread like wildfire. Everybody got in. And we're holding tight right now with Rick from the Nation. Rick, what do you call him?
Yeah, Nation Rick. Sure.
Just Rick. And then your M Chuck, JR, Squire, and myself in this league. So the 4 of us. Now 6 listeners are in, and they were in quick. And we're kind of saving the last 2 spots. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do with them. We'd like to do something more than just 2 more listeners. So we're figuring it out. We will round out the league. I will get everybody into a group chat on Twitter to figure out a draft time to solidify the rules. But yeah, this came together really quickly, and it's going to be a fun year. Now,
I just love seeing all the people chirping Chalmers already. It's great.
Fuck.
This is going to be a good engaged group.
It is going to be good.
Banter.
I think, and that's the thing is, I knew that the people that came in early would be the ones that would be the most, invested in it, and that's kind of what we wanted. And so I have had a question, and I wanted to pose it onto here. Now, this is also stuff we're going to figure out, but somebody asked me what the buy-in was. Now, are we allowed to have a buy-in? Should we be playing for a buy-in? Should we be playing for anything? Should we discuss it off air? What's the what's kind of the code here? Because I don't know the ethics involved.
There
in
should
this
be a amount that is
swallowable
under certain guidelines that don't require a license.
Yeah, I do too.
So we'll
maybe do a vote.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll figure something out.
We'll do a little
maybe if we
Twitter
can't
poll.
do money, maybe it's like maybe we could put together like some sort of package from.
See, that's kind of what I
Nation
thought.
stuff.
You know, it's a Nation thing. Maybe we could put together some sort of Nation package. But if guys wanted to play, you know what? I think we'll just gauge the league on a total. You know, so if you're listening to this and you're in it, and I don't send you a Twitter notification, we're going to be doing a vote for what we should play for and when the draft is. Now, the preseason ends on the Thursday, August 28th. The regular season starts on Thursday, September 5th. The weekend in between is the Labor Day long weekend. Kids are going back to school on the Tuesday. That Monday's, that weekend, that Sunday is perfect for drafts. We already have one, unfortunately, that night.
Let's do ours on Monday.
So I think we should do it on Monday. That would be my, sitting around maybe like a 2:00 in the afternoon or a later in the night.
Later in the night's always better.
I think it is too,
'Cause I
because
feel
that's
like
when people
especially
can
on a
sit at
long
their
weekend.
computers. Yeah.
I'd say the Monday at like 8:00 would be good.
Oof.
Let me know.
Not
Let me
too
know
late.
how many of my tasteful nudes you need for prizing.
Yes.
Just a nice little boudoir photo shoot I can do.
Yeah,
Be nice.
Bag Milk will send nudes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay. So there's kind of what we're thinking. Yeah. I thought Monday for the draft time, but I was really impressed at how many people got right back to it. People love fantasy football. It's like we now have a little community. You know what? Next year we go to 14. Maybe next year we get two leagues going, right?
Yeah.
For listeners. I know it'll be something to talk about on here. I think it's great. And I love it so far.
I think for prizing, we could probably get like $100 in GCs to the brew house, maybe $100 in GCs to Oodle Noodle.
See how many we could put
Throw
together.
some
Maybe
other
have
things.
weekly winners. I mean, we're going to do it the standard format. No divisions, head-to-head matches,
Yep.
just
Keep it simple.
Yeah, and like we're not getting into fab. We're just getting it into straight waiver processing. The other one that I thought about was the trades. There's 3 ways that we can do trades. Absolutely no review, which I am not a fan of. Number 2 is a commissioner veto, which I am a fan of because that means I have control. And number 3 is
I warned everyone
is the
Chalmers is a
dreaded-
fucking pain in the ass of a
Dude,
commissioner.
if we don't know these guys, if somebody decides to wreck this league, it would be very easy to do so.
That would be
I hope
me.
we don't have somebody like that, but that's where a league draft or a league a vote could come into it on trades too. That gives the majority of the people the idea, the ability to make the educated decision. So I'm fine with either the commission one. I'm fine with the league votes on the trades. But that's really the only thing I think that we're going to make,
I think because
different.
no one knows each other yet. I feel like we have to give you all the power, but you have to have an open mind.
I absolutely
If you
will.
think,
Do you agree that I know what is fair trade
If you
is?
think someone is trying to fuck with the league with some way lopsided trade,
Yes, two guys,
then you can veto.
two of them decide they're
but
going to
if
go
you
spend
think
the $100
it's like,
GC.
even if someone's winning by, I don't know how you say
Like,
win a trade.
let's say I really need a tight end and I have 3 really good running backs, so I trade a good running back for an okay tight end. Right, like then I don't want you to veto. I don't want you to veto it just because the value's not there. Like,
No, because
no.
you drafted
look at
depth and you had a
situations.
need and you addressed it by trading depth.
So we have a fantasy football league, and this is going to get into our fantasy football trip, which I am none too fucking pumped about.
Oh
right now,
yeah, well this
to
is
be
where
honest.
this Nation Real Life League could evolve to one day. And I'll let Chalmers explain.
This is our favorite. This is my favorite time of the year because at this time we have a fantasy football league that we ramp up. It's 11 of our really good friends, and it is way too fucking serious.
Yes.
But it's great.
It's
I'm the commissioner.
overcomplicated.
We have 8-page constitution. It is hard to understand, and we implement new rules. It gets tough. So I'm pretty pumped about that. But we also have this fantasy football. This football trip that we do. We all went on a football trip the very first year, and we went to San Diego, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way we decided where we were going to go was our friend puts out a spreadsheet saying the positives and the negatives of each location after we've decided on a week that works for everybody.
Yeah, so we do. So early in the summer, we do a vote on a weekend that works for
Yes.
our fantasy football crew to go on a trip.
Yes. And then when the weekend's decided, we all get a spreadsheet of the games, all the hometowns. We are then have to do a private vote.
But let's talk about how detailed this spreadsheet is. This spreadsheet has all of the 3 flight options and their price, hotel price range, tickets on the 50-yard line, ticket
End
price
zone.
on the end zone. It tells you everything. Average temperature for that.
Distance to stadium.
Distance to stadium from downtown to the stadium. Like, it gives you all the...
Whether or not it's going to be a divisional game,
Yeah.
what their power rankings could potentially
Yeah.
be at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like where...
Very
like,
thorough.
It's very, very
Our
thorough.
friend is
So-
a CA.
Yeah.
Puts it together.
So he sends it to all of us, and now we have to make our decision. Well, the decision this year came down to, and I don't know how to really sum this up very quickly.
Well,
but 2 places.
Yeah, it did. So
Yes.
so kind of some more context to how the vote works, and I'm probably boring bag milk here, but
Yeah.
it's I think people will find this interesting.
I feel good about it.
Is there's like 13 games on that weekend. We have to pick our top 5. So if you vote, say you vote Philly as your first destination, it gets 5 votes.
5 points.
5 points, and then if you, whatever your second destination gets 4. So you have to give 5. You pick 5 places, and then you kind of weights the vote.
And there's 6 people voting on this right now.
Yeah.
Because if you miss a trip, you lose voting rights.
Yes.
And you do not get your voting rights back until you've come to 3 consecutive trips.
Yes, and for missing a trip, you also have to pay $200 towards
bar tab.
a bar tab on the next trip. There's
Yes.
fines galore.
It's a way of keeping it to the people that really want to be there, because there's a lot of people that don't really want to be there,
Yeah.
but they want to go on a boys trip. But this is like
Birth of a child and you have to miss a trip. Well, it's going to cost you $200.
gonna cost you
can't
$200.
vote.
Plan your pregnancies, kids.
Plan your
Exactly.
pregnancies, man.
It's that serious.
You know what I mean? So anyways, this year there was 2 clear-cut lobbying parts.
That's
One
my favorite.
faction of the 6 wanted to go to Buffalo. The other faction of the 6 wanted to go to Nashville. Okay? Now, if you're in the side that wants to go to Nashville, you would think that you wouldn't vote Buffalo anywhere. Don't give them any points.
Yeah.
Well, one of the people that was voting for Nashville voted Buffalo. Gave them 2 points, and they won by 1. And he screwed it all up for everybody. And now we're going to fucking Buffalo. So we have to go to Toronto. We have to get a bus into Buffalo. The game is late at night on a Sunday, meaning on Monday, when we usually travel home, we have to fly out of Toronto. So we have to take a bus back to Toronto in the morning on a Monday after a bender. Like, it's a goddamn disaster.
We'd have to do
And-
it regardless, man.
Oh,
So
just
get
are
Buffalo
you
away.
going to jump off some tables?
All
are
I'm
you going to jump
saying
off an
is,
RV onto
I'm
a table?
telling you
'Cause-
this. I'm telling you this. We
What?
still have some little bit in Yaremchuk, just globally speaking, little bit of youth left in us.
Okay.
So you got to get the rowdy cities off the list.
I will.
And Bills Mafia, baby, is
I'm a big Bills fan, so let's go.
Is some of like the rowdiest tailgating. So if I am gonna jump through a table, this is probably my last chance.
Yes. So we have
The
gone.
window is closing.
We have got. This is our 6th trip. The first 5, there was only one cold weather city that we went to, and I'm telling you, it is not as much fun to sit in the stadium when it's cold. It just isn't.
Oh, I hope it's a
Okay.
blizzard.
So
When are you guys going again? Sorry.
November. The
late
game's November 24th.
and that should have been a part of the bet, like part of the vote. You should have known in late November.
That's what
why
made
wouldn't
it
we go
even
to
more
Nashville?
exciting.
Why would we go to Atlanta?
No, because like there's to be able to go and watch a game in a blizzard, like that's just like the best experience ever. You can dress for the weather.
Yeah, well,
No, the weather sucks.
the weather sucks. Yeah, we're gonna have to take off our Desante parkas and go into the bar and check them at the door. We won't be able to walk around downtown. We won't be able to look at shit. When we were in
course
New
we will.
Orleans, we walked down in t-shirts. Down when we were in San Diego, beautiful. Arizona, walk bar to bar in our t-shirts and our shorts. It was awesome. This is in the dead of winter in Edmonton. We have a chance to have an escape to get the fuck out of here to a place where we can go and it can be warm and watch a football game. But what you're choosing to do is to go to like a Grey Cup game in fucking Saskatchewan.
That is Grey Cup
Well,
weekend too, isn't it?
I don't know, probably late November. Anyways, it blows my mind that 3 people would think that was a good idea to go to Buffalo. That we would Nashville. You could stay on Broadway. You could go across the street.
We can always stay on Broadway. Nashville's not going anywhere. So the mission of this is to go to every NFL city. So we can't go to another city again as part of this trip. So like that's why like we have to we
were in cold weather in Cleveland.
It was like 12 degrees.
No, it was fine. Yeah, warmer than it's going to be in late November in Buffalo, man.
Are there cities that are being saved for later on when you are elder gentlemen?
So there's cities.
Well, this is what pissed me off. We went to Arizona really early.
Yeah, but that's not why it's
Even though
safe.
Scottsdale is a hell of a party place.
So
Yeah.
right now, we all have young kids. We have families. We have responsibilities. Now, we're trying to keep this trip under, a 2-month mortgage payment.
Which Buffalo was. It was the cheapest trip.
It was the most expensive flight.
No, it's not.
It's $885. Okay, let's not get in arguments about this.
We're
but
flying
listen,
direct to Toronto. You can do it for $400, and we're gonna
what
bus
about
them.
the bus? Exactly. So we're gonna have to either rent cars, an RV.
Buddy, I've already emailed 3 party bus companies to take us down to Buffalo.
Well, good. Make it better for us. 'cause
Fuck, you're gonna trust me. We're gonna do a postmortem on this podcast about going to Buffalo in early December, and you're gonna be like, you know what? That was fucking fun.
I didn't want to go to
And I
Cleveland.
love the gritty
And I
cities.
love Cleveland.
I love Cleveland.
I'm trying to put my best outlook on this whole thing. In hindsight, being able to go to Nashville, Atlanta, or San Francisco just seemed like a no-brainer to me.
I would have done it. Well, I had.
But you got to
Atlanta
get it
high.
out of the way.
And
Like,
like,
if you're gonna-
I had Cincy high.
Who are they playing again?
They're playing Nashville. They're playing Tennessee.
No, they're not. 'Cause
Oh,
we
sorry,
would have gone
that's
to Tennessee.
sorry,
we talked
that's
when you
Cleveland. I can't remember.
I didn't even look at the game. I
can't
didn't even
remember
look at the
the
game.
plan.
I didn't even think of that.
It's they're playing Denver.
Anyways, so
Ooh. That's not a great matchup.
no,
is it?
it's not. And Buffalo's going to be terrible at that point. We could have gone to
Yeah, but I
Atlanta
have
and seen the
faith in my Bills.
Detroit Lions and Atlanta maybe have something going on that game. In Tennessee,
What do you mean?
Jacksonville,
What do you mean? Maybe have something going on that game.
both teams maybe have something going in the fact that both teams might be good and fighting for a playoff spot at that point.
The Bills might be fighting for a playoff spot. I'm a big Josh Allen guy.
I just
Oh my
googled Buffalo sites, and
Yeah,
the
Chippewa Street.
The airport is on there.
Oh no.
My buddy asked.
Trust
my
me,
buddy put
Buffalo
on there. He goes,
will be unbelievable, and the people will be amazing. It's like going
our
to
friend,
fucking
I
Edmonton.
know. You know
man.
what? Our friend goes, what's downtown? What's the downtown district in Buffalo called? And I was like, downtown Toronto. Like, I don't think there is one. He says it's called Chippewa Street.
Yeah, you're gonna be blown
Let's look
away
at the
with how
sites on
awesome it
Chippewa.
is.
Oh, yeah, blown away. I better be.
I bet you're going to have a good time. I'm going to bet that Chalmers is going to come back and he's going to have a great
course.
time. He is
I
going
have a great
to
time
be
almost anywhere, but
an
I'm just
adopted
mad
Buffalo
we're not
son.
going to Nashville. I really wanted to go to Nashville.
Maybe next year.
Even Cincinnati would have been better. Anyways, Kay, we bored people enough with that. Tell us if you have football trips that are like this. I think I would like to know how you and your friends book these football trips. You know what I saw the other day? Is this app called Krugo. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
what is
It's
it?
Krugo. It's like a play on where would your crew go? And so what you do is you basically put in a weekend into, I think you put it into the destination that you want to go to, and it will give you a list of all of the concert tickets, any sporting event, hotels. I think you could do it all in one thing. Plus, you can add your friends into it. So have a group on the actual app, and you can do everything right there. So like right now, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find, everybody's going to go look for a flight, by themselves. And then they're going to have to send it to each other. And we're all going to have to decide what the best one is. And half the time, half of the people do one thing, half the people do another thing. This is a place where like everybody can go, right? So I think it's a really cool idea. And I think maybe we should try it this time, but we'll see. But yeah, like if you guys have a football trip out there and you think that Buffalo was stupid, at the Squire, is it just at the Squire?
Yeah, come, Squire Yeg.
And you know what's going to happen because I said that? People are just going to be like, Buffalo's the
shit
best
on Chalmers. Tell Chalmers that
light a table on fire. Let's jump off an RV onto it. I am 40 years old almost. I'm not going to be jumping off an RV onto a table.
But I am not 40 years old, and I still, like I said, the window is still small. I might be able to
Will you jump off an RV onto a table?
If the opportunity presents itself and I'm in the right state of mind, absolutely.
Because we will rent an RV and I will buy a table. So the opportunity will present itself.
Will you
promise me you will jump off an RV onto a table?
Please do.
As long as you get on video.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's got to be on video.
I'm
Come on, man.
fire too with
Of
lighter
course I
fluid.
will. Of course I will.
Just making sure, buddy.
Yep.
Because this is one of the reasons you want to go. That whole thing doesn't even happen inside the Bills tailgate, apparently. It all happens outside, non-sanctioned, no security. I'll be lucky if I come back.
Let's do it.
Man.
So all this talk of travel and Krugo.
Yes.
I think is a good segue to talk about Vegas. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. And since you want to talk about Vegas, I want to talk to you about going to Vegas in style. Meaning, with a brand new suit from our friends at Indochino.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. The way it works, as always, if you are a new listener, I'm going to tell you how to beautify your wardrobe, my friends. What you need to do is you need to head to Indochino.com and find a showroom near you or download their handy little kit to get yourself measured up. And then from there, you choose a style of suit. You customize that baby, just like Jay did. Hope will never die on the inside of that jacket. Looking fresh, reinforced ass for the dance floor.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta have it. You customize that suit any way you want it. However many buttons you want. You want the tails on there? You throw the tails on there. You want a nice flossy inside? You throw that in there. You look great. Get measured up, submit that. Within 2 to 3 weeks, you will have a wrinkle-free suit right out of the box delivered to your door. Go to Indochino.com. Get measured up online or head into any of their many, many, many showrooms around North America. Need more, Tyler? How about free worldwide shipping, my friend? Free worldwide shipping.
Yeah, you can't hide from Indochino.
Head on down to Indochino.com.
No excuses,
Check it out.
really.
No excuses.
I want to shout out Indochino because they have stepped up and they are providing a free suit as part of the super ticket draw at our golf tournament.
How can I win this despite the fact that I work at the golf tournament?
Well, you will be selling the super tickets. So we're going to have like 40 good prizes for the super ticket, but Indochino stepped up and provided a really good prize and a free suit. So you show up to the tournament, you purchase a super ticket, it gets you an entry into all of the draws for all of the prizes. Plus you get your 4 mulligans and a welcome beverage, pre-purchase beverage. I don't know how to properly say that, from our friends at Sea Change.
It's going to be delicious.
Hell yeah.
So thank you, Indochino.
Only a couple of teams left. Head on down to nationgear.ca and book your team for the Oilers Nation Open Golf Tournament coming up on August 29th, which is a fantastic time. Just like, as Jay was saying, when we go to Vegas.
Vegas, yes. So we're the Krugo in this sense that we've done all the heavy lifting and we have lined up the flights, the tickets, the hotels, the airport transportation, free checked bag for your flight, free airport parking.
Whoa.
I'm coming on this one.
Yeah, you are.
I'm coming on this one too.
Yes, you are. February 25th to 27th.
My parents will even come meet us again.
Oh, that was awesome.
Come meet you guys. I know.
Yeah, that was awesome. Chalmers' parents were on the last trip.
My parents found out that you guys were there and drove from Phoenix to come see you.
That's why I love the nation right there.
Oh, yeah.
So we're about to launch a trip here right away. I think we got all the kind of details sorted.
Probably going to be first thing in the morning. Just got to iron out a couple of things.
Yeah, perfect. So I'll tell you, flights, hotel, New York is where we're staying.
Ooh.
Flights, we're going with Air Canada because they had the best time, so it gets us in early into Vegas. We've got tickets to the game that are all inclusive.
Well, you got to talk about this because I don't think people really understand what the party patio is at T-Mobile Arena.
Canadians will really understand the value of this.
It is incredible.
You've got it is standing room, but you know what? You want it to be standing room.
You wonder.
You're not that high in the building.
Nope.
You've got a really good vantage point, and it is all inclusive.
One more time.
All inclusive.
Free food,
Food,
free booze.
and booze. And literally, I'm watching the game, and I just turn. We've got a dedicated bartender there. I just turn my back. I say, "Beer, please," and like, boom, beer back. I might have missed 1 second of play.
Do the math, unless it makes you want to cry, how much you spend on booze and food when you go to a sporting event.
Let's take Edmonton prices
and transpose.
And transpose.
This is an amazing deal.
So say you go and have 8 beers.
You want to because you're going to get rowdy and you're on a trip. So
You're on vacation. You're having
trade
8 to 10. Let's
I'd
be
trade
honest.
a seat for free food and food
So,
and boot.
Okay,
Oh my
You're
I
God.
got that.
So what's that? $15 a beer with tip?
Without tip, that's $108 at Rogers based on their prices.
Yeah. So
Plus, you're gonna want to have a couple snacks in there. So you're
I eat
probably
a lot of
looking-
food, by the
yeah.
way.
So
Probably
you're-
up $130.
I had
130 bucks
nachos,
yeah, right there.
hot
And then-
dogs.
Yeah. And so and you've got access to the building,
Yeah.
which is like it's such a good deal. It's the State's a different world, and so they can do stuff like that. I bet you Rogers could if the laws here allowed.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's the difference, but just the game experience alone is going to be awesome. And then we're going to have a game day viewing party when we land that night. They play
Anaheim.
There's a game against Anaheim. So
Where do you go for that?
We're still trying to.
Where'd you go last year?
Well, we won't go back there again.
Oh, okay, never
No,
mind.
not because it was bad. What was it called?
Moneyline.
Moneyline. Is because the booths, everyone had to sit in booths, so you couldn't see anyone.
Yeah.
Until we scored, and then all of a sudden you looked around, you're like, "Holy shit! Like we filled this bar, we didn't even know."
You should try to get a sports book.
Yeah. So we're trying to get like a
one,
sports
like
book
maybe
bar.
one off the strip where you could all get your own, lounger.
Yeah.
Maybe throw a couple
something
shekels on the game.
So Dan's on the case. He's gonna find some because we're bringing a big crew,
Yeah.
right? So because we're gonna be 40 people strong, and if this thing moves really fast, we might try to open it up to maybe 50 or 60. Our friends at AMA are the ones that put the whole package together and doing all that heavy lifting for us. So shout out to AMA. Thank you so much because you made my life a lot easier, and you're helping us with all the Euros that are coming this year as well. So thank you. So we're gonna launch it. It's honestly good value, and we're here on the trip to make sure that it's a good time. One thing I was talking to your M-Check about is I think we should do a podcast from Vegas, which I think would be fun.
Oh, the couple of squirrelies.
Yeah, we should.
Huh. Yeah.
We should do a podcast. We should do like a quick pregame one from like live from the party and like bringing in people. And
Who's
just
got
try
to take all the equipment? Who's in charge of that?
Man, we got this roadcaster.
It's called the Roadcaster. I mean, you take
all
it on
I
the
need
road.
is the
But it's
roadcaster
spelled
and my
road,
MacBook.
R-O-D-E. It's not like a road, R-O-A-D.
Yeah,
caster.
because you rode it. Like you ride it hard. It's been roaded.
Okay.
Casters or wheels. So
All I know
Thank you.
is that last year's trip was incredible. We had the best time.
So good.
And I'm telling you, this party patio, you have never gone to a game like this. Ever.
Yeah. It's
Standing room is so much fun. I actually almost prefer standing room because you can move around. You're in the
You're
mix.
free.
You're celebrating.
Exactly. You can like if I see bag milk, 20 meters away in the other score, I can run over to him, high five him. Like it's a good zone. Like it was such a good time. Like Goat and the boys are already they've already booked it off. They don't even know what the hell they're booking, but they've got the time booked off. They're gonna be there. They've already got they made special nation necklaces last year and shit, and they've already got ideas and shot glasses. I just can't wait to put a big crew together and just go hang out and
Hit the craps tables.
oh fuck, we were gonna play craps hard. I do have a system and it does work.
it does work.
It's foolproof.
It's your dad's system.
No, Dad wasn't a craps guy.
He did have a system though. You play a
He's got a
quadrant of the
system for
board.
VLTs.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, he does.
Does it work?
Self-proclaimed system.
No, it doesn't work. I've tested it too many times.
You gotta feel.
I thought your roulette system was you play 1/4 of the board.
Oh, if you want,
That's my roulette system too. I surround 17
if you
in all the
want,
corners.
Yeah.
if you want a 62% chance of winning half your money, the system is, if you like those odds,
Okay.
is you play 2 of the columns, but it's only one spin. So, because then the odds get skewed if you keep playing. If you want a 62%
This is a
chance,
one spin system.
If you If you want a 62% chance of winning half your money, so if you bet $200,
I got a system. Put it on
and you
red.
want to
Then.
win 300.
Okay, so you to profit 100 off a $200 bet.
Yeah, you profit 100 out to it.
Oh my God! You could
That's a
put
system.
200 on red and win 200. That's a system.
But
that's
that's
50.
But that's less than 50 because the
But you can
double
do
zeros
it twice,
and zero.
and then it's better than your system.
But I'm just saying, if you want a system and want to stick with it, and you want a 62% chance at winning money, that's it.
That's interesting.
But you have to have the discipline for one spin.
Yeah.
Big Milk.
now who does
tell
that?
us about tell us about what you think of that system. Because I saw you
It's
rolling your
boring.
eyes with me.
Yeah, it's a little bit boring.
Yeah.
It's a little bit boring. It's a one spin, you're in and out. I don't know, man.
My system in Vegas is play all the craps you want and then bet on the Oilers.
And put the greenies away.
Put $200. Oh yeah, tuck
And
the
do
greens.
not play 3-card poker. It
That's
is
the
a
worst.
rip.
And that's why when you go into table games now in Vegas, the blackjack tables, where it used to be like 75% blackjack tables, 25%, 3-card stud, 3-card poker, it's now like 75 the other way. And
Yeah, the odds are
25%
terrible.
blackjack.
Yeah.
And blackjack's they changed the odds on what you win.
What?
Yeah, they used to pay you out like 2
Three-
to 1. Now it's
3
like
to
6
2.
to 5.
No, they pay 3 to 2.
6 to 5 now. So
Jeez.
it's a little worse.
These dealers have to do some real math.
No, it's why you go down
math.
to old Vegas.
Yeah, Old Vegas has better odds
Drink
because
I was trying to
4
push-
pints of Crown
I was trying to
Royal.
push to stay down there.
Well,
it's
yeah.
the best.
So, and that's maybe
$1
something we can
hot
lead
dog.
up.
I
as a
love
trip to
Fremont
Old
Street,
Vegas.
man.
We
Size
can
of
lead
your
up
forearm.
after the game day viewing party or whatever.
We all head down to
We
Fremont?
can head down to Fremont. We can lead a charge to do it.
It is
It's fun.
greasy and I love it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it is
When they
great.
free pour down there,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's Vegas
And they're
is on
hurting
sale
for your
there.
business, so they didn't change that shit.
You can play like dollar limit tables,
Yeah, play all day.
so it's social.
Free drinks.
I heard that it's there and it's the casinos on the outskirts of Vegas
they
that
take a roadie.
they treat you the best because they need to keep regulars and locals happy. Because locals aren't like going to the strip
No.
to like the MGM Grand.
No,
They're
no.
going to the outskirts where it's quieter. And those casinos will apparently like treat you a lot better. And the slot machines have better odds at those casinos.
That's what you
Fremont
noticed from
ain't
that
quiet,
game.
ain't quiet. It is colorful
Fremont is
and
not.
it's popping.
That was what you noticed from that the documentary Action. Was those guys that are playing in the sports books? They're always going to the ones that like look like they're a Walmart.
Yeah.
living
It's like
in
the
desert.
$5 shrimp combo ones way
Yep.
out there.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So-
we got more Vegas.
Oh, just saying. So look out for the launch. Come join us. It'll be a hoot.
We've
Could be great.
We've 7 minutes left in the podcast.
We got to talk
Well,
about Big Brother.
we
We
gotta talk
have as
Big
much
Brother.
time as we need.
do we have to go to, do we have to do an ad first?
No, we got no more ads. It's 7 minutes of Big Brother talk to end the podcast.
Where do we begin?
Where do we
Is everybody
begin?
caught up?
Because we, well, yeah,
Because
everyone's
I
caught up.
love that the 6 is now shit and they all hate each other. It's my favorite thing. I hated all of them.
yeah, so on
Team
the-
Cliff, ride or die.
So on the last podcast, we basically had talked about up to the point where Cliff was in power. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last
Yeah.
podcast would have been Cliff
Yeah,
and
Cliff was in power. And
blew
then-
it big time.
Yeah.
Blew it
Shouldn't
big
have taken
time.
the deal. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Holly won HOH. Holly put up Nick and Sam. Sam went on to win the veto. Or sorry, Nick went on to win the veto. Sam went home.
I was
miss
bummed
Sam.
about it.
I love
My-
Sam.
I love
my-
Sam too.
My
too.
favorite part of Thursday night show was the look on Julie's face when they came to her live.
Yeah.
And she just said, "You have no idea what's been going on for the last 3 hours of this house. We have no idea. We're going to get to it, but this is live. We have no idea who's going home." And like what you come to learn is that in a matter of 4 hours, this whole thing changed because
It almost flipped.
two bros stop being bros, man. Like
Jack and Jackson. or
Jack
whatever.
and Mickey, man.
It's
Like
a tough breakup.
Mickey thought he could trust him. That was heartbreaking. Last podcast we talked about how I was like, I always like power groups, and you agree
Yeah.
that like that you get drawn to the power group just because like
If they're likable.
if they're likable, and then they became unlikable at that point.
quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I right now feel bad for Mickey.
I was just
Like
gonna say,
really
I
bad for
actually-
Mickey. And then it's okay. So, but he's had some rocky times, I guess, on like the
Yeah.
After Dark,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
people are saying that he's a kind of a shithead to chicks and like to women. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mickey over here.
Sorry. That he's doing that shit, and I wondered if there was a way that they would like try to produce it so that he could get a little bit of the sympathy back, but I don't think they had to. This was like two guys who were like the alpha males in the group, and they let their emotions get in between them. And it was really weird because even when I'm feeling bad for Mickey, they end Sunday's episode with a crying Aquaman.
Yep.
And you go, I feel bad for both of them now.
I'm hoping
I
for a
don't get
Mickey.
this.
I'm hoping for a revenge tour. A Mickey revenge tour.
So do I. And
I hope he comes
he's on
guns
an
a-blazing.
island by himself right now with Holly. Kath's kind of just like, she's there if they need him, but she's kind of over here. And like, you know, Christy and Tommy, like this whole thing became because two people knew each other. They're the only two people that really, really knew each other. Like hardcore for a long time. So what really caused this, just to go back and explain to people that might not know, is that there's two girls in the house and they knew each other from a pageant circuit. They didn't live in the same city. They weren't friends.
They went
saw each other out.
Stagecoach together.
They saw each other at Stagecoach.
No,
They
that's
didn't
what they're saying.
Yes.
The comment was like they went together to Stagecoach.
Oh.
You know,
That's
when
what
you're in a
that
house
sounded
for
like to me.
44 days, 24 hours a day, you're going to slip up.
Of
And
course.
at one point, they said, you had to leave Stagecoach early. Oh, that sucked. And somebody noticed it. And there goes the
Tommy
conspiracy theory.
But
Tommy
also
noticed it.
Holly told Mickey, and then Mickey told Jackson. What blows me
but
away
you
with
gotta
all
lay
this,
it out for somebody as if they were sitting here and they didn't know a thing about what you're talking about,
Yeah.
right? So this girl, they're talking stupid. They shouldn't have said that. But this girl's now in a showmance with Mickey, Holly, and she tells him a secret, right? Something like, I've known her. I knew of her. And he goes and tells his best friend in the house, 44-day, they have been boys.
Yeah, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Even like, it was a mistake. He should
But
never
you
have done
said
it.
different this time.
I know.
I was just like, oh.
Yeah, they were
But he's
banging
right
that hard.
there.
right?
He's right
really
there.
banging that hard.
He was right there. Like,
He's not wrong.
What's blowing my mind is how Christy is going around the house and telling one all this shit, and Mickey is like trying to call that out, but everyone's side is trusting Christy,
Yeah.
who's actually the culprit.
And she's like she's a space cadet too. Like she's a
She's
loose
an
cannon.
idiot.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about, like, I was debating whether or not to, but I'm going to do it anyways because I don't really give a shit. Every time, my biggest problem with people who get in arguments with other people is to initially say your point and then ramp up the argument, abandon your point, and argue about how the argument's going. I fucking hate that. If you're going to have an argument with somebody, don't do those things that just make them furious. And when she got into that argument with Mickey and she was yelling at him and he yelled back at her, she immediately turned it into, why are you yelling at me? And he had to immediately backpedal and be like, oh, obviously he heard it from the producers because he heard him made the comment. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. This is Mickey, the one who's bad to women, right? And you just go, it's unfair at this point because and then she starts crying and you're just like, how can he argue any of that? How the fuck does anybody argue that? Because if I'm in an argument with somebody and they say, why are you yelling at me? I immediately, I'm thrown, right? For a loop.
Well, she said something like you're yelling at a woman or something like that, right?
Yeah. Something like you're yelling at a woman. And he's like, I'm just yelling. Like,
But there's a
we're
lot of
all
backstory
yelling.
because he's been doing it a lot, like that we don't see. So I can see maybe why she said it. But like,
But if she's yelling at him, why wouldn't he raise his voice back? And like, you know, they don't show him yell that much, right? Like even when he got off the hammock because he was mad, he was going to go confront Christy and Tommy. He went in there and calmly said his point. Then Holly came in, told him, don't do this without me. And he could have then blown up, and he didn't blow up.
Yeah.
He went and sat back in the hammock. And even when he was talking to her, he said a stupid comment. Yeah, but like, fuck, you know, you're going to forget that these cameras are on you at all times.
Yeah.
Anyways, argument 101. Don't say your initial point. Know that it's weak and immediately turn into how the other person's treating you in that argument. And then she went and like flipped it again about the rogue vote. And now he's having to backpedal from the rogue vote. This argument was already 3 degrees away from what the actual fucking argument was.
yeah.
That made me so mad.
Yeah, because just I totally agree with
And
that.
then things really got turned upside down with the HOH
Yes.
because she's just way on the outside.
Yeah,
Way
that
on
was
the outside.
That was almost perfect though for like the script of the game, the way it's kind of been going.
Everything is wrestling.
It was perfect. And like that, and I couldn't help but think that you do a comp where they have to go and study some shit, and the people that were all involved in that argument, their minds are going to be racing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
if I was Mickey, I wouldn't even
All
be
you
able to
can see is
concentrate
red.
on those pictures.
Oh, yeah,
I'd only be thinking about like, oh my God, like I should never have told Jackson this.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I'm going to go back in this house and me and Jackson aren't going to be friends anymore. We're not going to work out. The girl that trusts me in this game is now mad at me. Like, how are you going to count how many buttons Holly
First
has
one
on her
out.
jacket, man?
First one out, but you knew
And he was
like,
the first one out because
you knew it.
Yeah.
like it was scripted. It was scripted, and well, that's air quotes scripted.
Yeah.
It was perfectly planned for that.
Yeah, they laid it out perfectly.
It was like, I needed this.
Yeah.
Because I had actually thought that this season was a little bit boring.
Oh, 100%.
Up until the shit started to hit the fan. Up until these 6 people who were in control of the game started falling apart and falling all over each other. And then you've kind of got the outlier group that they're getting their own little thing going, but these assholes are also mad at each other that they're ignoring that that's even going on.
Yeah.
All led by Cliff, saying,
Cliff's the man.
Just let them
Cliff
do this.
knew.
You guys,
Wise.
I promise you, they will come apart at the seams.
Yeah.
And he's saying, just do this. Just be quiet. We have to stick together. And sure as shit, everything he's saying, like, I don't know this is a fact, but I have to assume that this is accurate just by my own, knowing the game of Big Brother. He has to be the stereotypical old guy in the house that's made it the furthest.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
He has to be, because they usually go out first like 3 weeks.
Before the season started, I even said that if they're going to put an old guy in the house, they should throw in like 3 or 4, because it's always the old guy that goes first.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see Cliff riding it through, and he was out and he's back.
He
and
has fought for his life. He's so wise.
especially after almost blowing up his own game there when he was talking to
Yes.
his family or whatever in that room by himself.
He must be
he's
so likable.
So
in
likable.
person.
I think everyone in the house loves him. So his social game's through the roof.
Yeah.
If he makes it to final too, like he'll win.
Oh,
like no one would
geez.
vote someone
So
else.
prediction time. We've seen people who didn't, like Jessica went on that whole thing about how, and I really you could feel this. She was like, she even said to her, I wish I had the power to do something about this. She didn't have it. She now has it. She takes them all upstairs and she lays it out again. Like, I wish, and I'm feeling empowered. And like, do you think this power will go to
I
your
want to
head?
rewind
Yeah.
that to 1
I think
second.
it will too. And I
she's
believe,
insufferable.
I
I'll
think I
rewind.
think things are going to go bad for her this week. I do not think that this is going to be what she hoped for.
So the empowered thing, when the beginning of Sunday's episode, they're going back through all the drama.
Yeah.
And Kat's in the bathroom and goes to Jessica like, so am I the one voting out? And she goes quiet. Doesn't say anything. It makes the weirdest face I've ever seen. And then she goes into the diary rooms like, I wish I could help her and blah, 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 blah. Like, there's a chance to stand up and say something.
Do you think she actually knew at that point?
She didn't know, but like she just froze and went all weird. I'm like,
but the timestamp
if
said
this-
that it was 22 minutes until the eviction, and that's when Christy was running around telling all the people that weren't really in the argument that's what was happening. That we
No,
were
I
getting
think
rid of
this
staff.
was before-
Another thing, 6 shooters and 8 under. What are they called? The 8
Grateful.
Hey, guess what? Don't fucking hash everything out in the boat room in the middle of the house.
yeah.
I love
Think
that.
it
yeah.
out, man.
So dumb.
Here's my prediction,
What
though.
the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm saying when we record next Monday that both Jack and Mickey are still in the house.
I 100% agree
Yeah.
with you. 100%.
One of them's going to win the veto,
Yeah.
and then they're going to flip on whoever the replacement is.
Yep. Yeah.
If Mickey is smart, he's got to go and get into Cliff's head and be like, let me be your weapon.
Yes.
No, if he's really smart, what he'll do is say, look, I'm dead to that side of the house. You bring us 2 over here, that flips the numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And,
saying.
and,
Yeah.
and he's already like behind the scenes. You can see sort of snippets of times where him and Nicole, they're tight. I'm sure they have like a brother sister type of relationship right now,
Yeah.
where Mickey's like kind of protector, even though he was the one that created that rogue vote. He's made up for it. They talk about some shit, and like Holly, like Kat's already over on that side. They could completely alienate.
But Kat
Jackson,
hates Mickey, though.
Sis, Tommy, and Christy.
Kat hates Mickey.
Yeah, she wants him out so bad.
But if
So
she has the
bad.
opportunity to use him
Yeah.
as a weapon, then maybe that,
Yes,
you know.
and I think that
But-
I think that she's just naive enough to let it happen. because Holly and everybody else tells her that it's a good idea. I think it's personal why she doesn't like him. And I think at that point, when the whole group's telling you, and your number 2, is telling you, that's what I see happening. And if I was Mickey right now in the house, that's what I would have been thinking about while I was trying to study those camp.
All right. Well, it's going to be a hell of a week on Big Brother. Hopefully next week we, or not hopefully, I don't really care, but maybe next week we'll have some more Jesse Puljujarvi news to talk about, maybe in the form of like a trade or something. But thanks for listening to the Real Life episode of 133.
We might be having a guest next week.
We might. Are we teasing that hard?
We're not.
How good do you feel about him showing up? Because we were supposed to have a guest today, and he
75-25. Yes.
Ooh.
Former Oiler.
Has
a cup.
Yep.
Multiple. Yes.
Was a captain.
There you go.
100%.
There's our clues.
On the all beauty team.
100% on the all beauty team.
It's very obvious.
Was an employee with the
Wayne
team
Gretzky.
after.
So it's very obvious.
Yeah.
Looking forward to talking to Wayne Gretzky.
I'm going to touch base with him right when we leave here.
Yeah.
He gave me a yes to my face. He's leaving on Friday of next week.
Okay.
So we have one day. Not this Friday.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. Look forward to that next week then. Maybe no Big Brother talk then. We'll still get Big Brother talk.
Nah, you know he watches.
I wonder.
Gretz loves
I might
Big
ask him.
Maybe. Mark Messier next week.
Thanks for tuning into the Real Life. Episode 133 is over.